it and make her name it gay!
G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Prepare to start the show, R2. This is where the fun begins. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Casual Rage 164, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. This week, we've got a little bit of Star Wars to talk about. There's actually not a lot of news. It's just really the Bad Batch. We're going to break down this most recent episode of the Bad Batch. We got some Star Wars news in regards to Ahsoka, Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, shit like that. And then, obviously, we've also got Seal of the Week. I'm going to talk a little bit about Marvel today as well. And that's really it. I had some great news this morning, just personal stuff, which is really, really awesome. Let me know too, guys, if I'm coming through hot, because I'm having, some issues with my microphone. Sometimes it comes through really hot. So just let me know if it starts coming through really fucking loud. I am a loud person naturally, though. So, you know. Anyway, good to see you all. Thank you all for being here. Let's quickly say hello to the chat. We got Kaka. We got the Nuisance Bird. How you doing, Nuisance Bird? Good to see you. Why? I'm missing. Hold on a second. Oh, no, that's saying that's the first chat. I thought that there was a couple before that. Anyway, doesn't matter. We got Mud Crab in the chat. Yes, I was a little late. Not too bad, though. How you doing, Mud Crab? Good to see you. Oh, God. I knew that this was going to happen. As soon as I was, thinking about making the video that I made, I knew that I was going to start copping it in regards to the Star Wars theory stuff. I already copped it enough, but I couldn't help myself. Star Wars Marvel Purist is here. How you doing? Force choke the like button. Yes, please do. Smash. Force choke that like button. Thank you, Star Wars Marvel Purist. And just to give you guys a heads up, Star Wars Marvel Purist and I are going to be doing a stream on his channel on, I believe it's going to be the 19th after Casual Rage. So 19th of April. Well, for some of you, it'll be the 18th of April, depending on where you are in the world. But we're going to be talking about Plagueis, the book. And because it's such an extensive book, we might not get through it all in one stream. So we might end up doing multiple streams, but that's going to be awesome. We teed it all up and we've organized it. So if you're not subscribed to Star Wars Marvel Purist, go over and give him a sub. Fractured Filters here, always catching the replays. Here for the usual drop in. Yes. Have a good one. We will. Thanks for covering bad snatch. It is. So we don't have to. Also, hopefully one day, Senpai Theory, I think that's how you'd say that, will notice you, mate. Look, the thing is like, I know that there was another person too that said something similar in the chat. I don't really care anymore. Like, I'd like to have a conversation with him and you know, ask him how he justifies it. But I will say, watching Ryan and Mauler do their thing is enough for me. Because, see, especially Ryan, him and I are very much eye to eye. We see things eye to eye. We're you know, pretty much on the same wavelength. Mauler, obviously, he liked Andor, and there's other bits and pieces that he likes, but he's not as much involved in like the lore side of things. Like the things that I would go over in Andor and that I've got a problem with in Andor, he hasn't mentioned any of those things really. And in Andor, I will say it's probably the better one out of all the Disney stuff, other than Rogue One, maybe, where it does work with the characters and stuff like that. And that's where Mauler's really good with that shit. But yeah, I don't care if he notices me or not. It's not a big deal. It's just funny to see him basically pin himself into a corner and ride that fence for his audience, for his subscribers. Pro Jack fan. Also, too, obviously, there's a lot of you guys mentioning the video in the chat. We got Mr. Bantham here. Great video you did today. I appreciate that. It was a lot longer than I wanted it to be, a lot longer than I anticipated it to be. That's why I ended up premiering it. And there's some super chats that I want to get to from that as well, which we'll get to shortly. But it really does illustrate his mindset when it comes to Star Wars, when it comes to Disney Star Wars. And it's quite throughout a lot of these Stargriff streams. There's a lot of shit that he says that's wow. You know, we got Corey in the chat. Good to see you, Corey. Let's see. Tyron Azilla's in the chat. Good to see you, dude. Firafima. Mike Hill. Hey, Mike. Just want to let you know, I think I mentioned this to you. A couple of the things that you sent to me, I must be blocked because I can't see them. The one that you said, the one that you sent me from Star Wars only, can't see any of that. And every time you send me one from discussing film, I can't see any of those, unfortunately. So yeah. But good to see you, Mike. Always good to see you. Always good to see the members in the chat. Love that green. Let's see who else have we got here. Moz's Ming and Mother. This is a long intro. Mate, that's nothing. Why don't you change it? It's not that long. Not long at all. Great video. Thank you, Star Wars Marvel Purist. Good to see you again. Tilliam's in the chat. Cell Shade's here. Good to see you, Cell Shade. Who else have we got? King Chris. What up, y'all? What up, dude? Big Rog. I'm guessing that's a thumbs up emoji. It is. Always. Good to see you, Big Rog, and thank you very much for the $1.99. Let's see. Riff is in the chat. Great stream this morning. It wasn't a premiered video. Sort of works as a stream. I thought I'd allow you guys to sort of chat. I would have liked to have been there. I actually got up an hour after it premiered. I probably should have scheduled it a little bit later so I could have been there. Thank those people for the super chats as well. But we'll get to that. We will get to that. Trev is in the chat. How you doing? Raging Rhino, what are your thoughts on Mando Season 1 and 2? I'm going to start with Mando Season 2. Mando season 2 is the cameo season. It's funny how in such a vast galaxy, Mando just runs into the most important people in the galaxy, and the crossovers with those characters are absolutely incredible. The other thing too is between Mando season 1 and 2, there's a lot of law breaking, a lot of canon destruction through those 2 seasons. And like, it's funny, you know, when Jon Favreau first announced that he had this idea for like a Mandalorian series, it's going to sort of tell the underworld, you know, the bounty hunting side of things. There's going to be no real Force users and everything. I feel like when he pitched that, they then shifted all of that to then have Grogu in it and do what they ended up doing with it. So despite the fact that I feel like it was John's, you could say, brainchild that he had, this idea that he had, it shifted and it moved. And Dave Filoni definitely helped do that. You know, like I've mentioned it before, like tracking fobs, right? I know people, they go, oh, Rhino, stop mentioning tracking. It's like ridiculous. Stop talking about it. But I'm not going to stop talking about it until they explain it. How do tracking fobs work? What are they tracking? The very first scene that we ever see in Mando season 1, the very opening moments, is him tracking that the blue guy, the fish-looking dude. And the first thing we see is his hand with the tracking fob in it. My question is like, okay, so when a person, let's say, goes to Jabba and borrows credits off Jabba, does Jabba go, okay, just in case I want to put a bounty out on you because you don't pay me back, we got to put this chip in your arm so that we can track you with a tracking fob? Is that what it is? Because if that's what it is, why don't they just dig it out? Why didn't Mando dig it out of Grogu? If it's tracking DNA, well, wow, that opens up a whole new can of worms. How does DNA transmit a signal for the tracking fobs to detect? You know, and then even in the Book of Boba Fett, right, with the Mando episodes that we see in the Book of Boba Fett, he's using a tracking fob to go and get that bounty to take to that other guy. I can't even remember why he ended up doing that mission in the first place or doing that bounty in the first place. I don't think they're that good. I don't think that I don't think that anything that's really come out on Disney Plus at all has been really any good for Star Wars. Tales of the Jedi, another one where they rip off a title and everything from the EU, you know, but then they retcon the Ahsoka novel with all the Ahsoka story stuff. And on top of that, they also retcon Dooku and that whole storyline as well from what it was supposed to be. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they're good. That's my answer. Let's see who else we got here. SJ, how you doing? Good to see you. Scroll through a little bit. Just want to Riff, I said hello. Soul Assassin, how you doing, Soul? It's amazing how Mando always finds desert planets to visit. You know what I find even more amazing? How he gets to his destinations like that. And that's the other thing too. Like even the Raiders of Crest, that ship was perfect for what Mando does, the bounty hunting and stuff like that. He had a carbonite fucking freezing chamber that he could freeze his bounties in and everything. And now he's in a Naboo starfighter. Well, he's turned away from bounty hunting. Well, technically, yeah, maybe he actually has. But that ship is still, man, if he's going from one end of the galaxy to the other and it's supposed to take, let's say, a week in hyperspace to travel from there to there, obviously he's got to make stops on the way. But imagine sitting in that chair. Imagine just sitting in that cockpit for fucking a day. How annoying. At least in the Razor Crest, he could set it, fucking just let it fly, go down, go to the bathroom, maybe have a sleep. He's literally got to sit there. And isn't it funny how that little chamber that Grogu was in can somehow duck underneath, come out underneath the seat between his legs and be in the cockpit. But then also, too, when they finally turn it back into something that an astromech droid has to go into, it does this S-bend in the ship to pop out the bottom of it. To me, none of that actually makes any sense. Mike Hill for 10. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. The Star Wars only was just a reminder that there will be 2 episodes of The Bad Batch next week. Yes, I did know that. And discussing film, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Andor will release on physical media on my birthday. Well, happy birthday for that. It's a shame that that's essentially what you're getting from Star Wars. That'd be interesting to see how many people actually buy Obi-Wan Kenobi and Andor on physical media. That's going to be a very interesting thing to see. Like, to me, they're trying to make up money. They're trying to make up what they didn't make up releasing this garbage on Disney Plus and how much they invested in it. And as for The Bad Batch, yes, I did know that there's going to be 2 episodes of The Bad Batch next week. Doubleheader. I wonder when we're going to finally see a Asajj Ventress. I wonder if that's going to be this week coming. That'd be interesting. Saw people talking about, the yellow lightsabers and stuff like that and what that means. I mean, she's a temple guard, doesn't it? But yes, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. And dude, I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate everything that you do just to help me. I know I say it nearly every week, but it's true. Like, a lot of the stuff that I bring up is all because Mike essentially does the research for me. He finds the things, the topics, and sends it to me, and it's fucking amazing. It's great. The character Andor comes across as a selfish grifter who lies and cheats on everyone he knows. We are supposed to like this guy. I am rooting for the Empire if this guy... Yes. Well, see, this is the other thing too, is with Andor, like, what his motivations seem to always change as well, right? Like, the very opening of Andor that we saw was him going to the brothel to try and find his sister. The lady that's there does say that she was working there. And then later on, and then he just completely forgets about trying to find his sister. Maybe, yeah, okay, he did the heist, which gets him some credits. And then he got locked up, which he had to escape. But then even after all of that happens, he's still got no interest in actually finding his sister. And you know why the sister setup is even there? Is so that after the events of Rogue One, we can then shift to the sister, right? The females in Star Wars, the Force is female. That's the purpose of that. So I'm guessing that in season 2, we're going to probably move back to his sister. But if we don't, then that's a big problem. And the funny thing is too, is that his surrogate mother, I can't even remember her name and I don't even really care, completely, like, she says to Andor, stop looking for your sister. She's dead. No one survived all of this kind of stuff. And he doesn't even correct her to say, no, I've been tracking her and I went to this brothel and she was working there. Doesn't even do that. What else we got? Rhino, may you please make videos on how on how there's a lot of canon breaking between Mando season 1 and 2. I think the best way to see that, I did a video on tracking fobs, specifically on tracking fobs. And then the videos of me going through each episode. They're on my channel, my reviews of each episode. I definitely talk about that stuff. It's there. It is there. I'd like to be able to do more like scripted videos, video essay kind of style things. The Tracking Fobs one is that kind of style. Here, let me grab that for you, and I'll just drop it in the chat. I'll give you the Tracking Fobs one. Give me a second. Let me find it. Give me a sec, guys. Trev's always here asking questions. I love it. Poor man. Oh, hang on. Let me see. Actually, if I go here. Here, there's 2 videos in this playlist. Well, so in this playlist, there's Disney Star Wars Continuity, The Mandalorian Edition, Episode 1, Tracking Fobs. See, this was the thing. I wanted to make a series out of it, and then it sort of just fell off a cliff. But then also the second video in that is The Importance of Lore and Continuity, Star Wars, what did I call it? Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Lord of the Rings, Marvel. I'm going to give you that playlist. Does that share the playlist? Or do I go up here? Oh, hang on. No. I can do it from here. Sorry, guys. Oh, no, I can't. Hang on. Let me just make sure that did the right thing. Oh, that only gave you the Tracking Fobs video. That link there that's in there now, that's just for the Tracking Fobs. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Oh, that was that one. Okay, sorry. And then here, I'll put the... God, I'm retarded. And then that one is for The Importance of Lore and Continuity. There you go. Check those out. Let me know what you think of those videos. And you can obviously, I've got playlists in there for my entire series of Disney Star Wars Continuity. Goes through characters from the sequels. Then I've got individual videos that I did for Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka, a few others. They are on the channel, Trev. They are there. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, yeah. It's just for kids. Don't pay those Tracking Fobs any attention. It's such a stupid argument. It's such a stupid argument. You know, by theory actually saying that is giving those people that used to give us shit, saying, why are you complaining? It's about fucking space wizards and it's made for kids. He's giving them, like, yeah, see, Star Wars Theory said it. It's for kids. Nobody cares. It shouldn't be, you know, you shouldn't necessarily have to worry about it. Christopher, I see you in the chat. How you doing, dude? Jared, just scroll through a little bit. Fear of FEMA for 10. Thank you. Very generous. Disney Star Wars is sad trash. You're not wrong. Any hope for the newest Ghostbusters movie? Or is it just going to be more key jangling, different IP? That Ghostbusters, the most recent Ghostbusters that came out, I didn't mind that movie. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was just fine. It certainly changed from the comedic elements and the seriousness of the original movie or movies. Nothing really beats the first Ghostbusters at this point in time. Do I have any hope for this newest one? Look, they could do it where it'd just be fine. Again, I don't see them doing anything spectacularly great. But there is key jangling there, but it depends on how they do it. There's a difference between jangling the keys and putting something in for no reason. It's kind of like putting holocrons in the back of Luthen's store, right? That's key jangling. Putting Starkiller's armor in Luthen's store is key jangling. Putting the tablets that the Wolves gave to Ezra in the Rebels series for the father-son, the mortis stuff, the fists and the hands and everything, right, is jangling keys. Because then the question becomes, how did he get them? When the Wolves made them appear and disappear, right? On Lothal. Having the Temple Guard's helmet. This is one of my arguments with Andor, with Luthen's store being on Coruscant. He's got all this force-sensitive material in his store, and what, Palpatine and Vader haven't sensed that and just allow him to buy and sell this stuff? I don't think so. I don't think so. In original canon, if that was the case, fucking Palpatine would have raided the store, killed Luthen, killed the chick that works in there as well, and taken all the force-sensitive material to Mount Tantus. Again, another rip-off thing from the EU. But thank you, Fear of FEMA. I appreciate the super chat. Really do. You guys are awesome with all your support and everything that you give me. But that's the other thing too, is a lot of Disney Star Wars is naturally now just jangling keys. Through Ahsoka, we had jangling keys. Through Mandalorian, we've had jangling keys. Through Boba Fett, we've had jangling keys. Even in Andor, we had jangling keys. Obi-Wan Kenobi were jangling keys. The purpose of those nostalgia things being there meant nothing to the story other than for the audience to go, oh, look, oh, I know what that is. Or he said the line, or whatever it is. And you see those reactions. Go and watch Grizzy's videos. Speaking of Grizzy, I'm going to be doing a collab with Grizzy when Acolyte comes out, which is going to be awesome. And he's well surpassed me now in subscriber count and everything. And then he did his first live stream. He had over 200 people watching. It was awesome. And he gave me a plug, got a couple of subs there. We help each other. It's fucking excellent. Excellent. But yeah, I'm going to be working some stuff out with him. Raging Rhino, bro, you're not retarded. I am a little. Bitch, Iger, Kathleen Kennedy, and Kevin Feige are the ones that are retarded. And Dave Filoni. I'd like to put Dave Filoni in that list as well. Definitely Dave Filoni. I'm guessing that says God help us when Acolyte drops. Yeah, God help us when Acolyte drops. Will be an epic train wreck. It will be an epic fucking train wreck for sure. For sure. And g'day, Melissa. Good to see you. All right, we're all caught up there. Now, I just want to hit a couple of the super chats that I got from this morning's premiere video. If you haven't checked it out, the video is called Mola and Ryan Make Star Wars Theory Look Stupid. And this is from his Stargriff stream. So 19 Larry X, I think that's how it's said. He sent, I'm guessing it equates to $5. It's CLP. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know denomination, like money and stuff like that. I don't know. But CLP 2,500. So I'm guessing it's like $5 because of the color of it, something like that. In the end, the logic is kids don't deserve quality and they are retarded. So let's make idiotic, stuff for them, basically. It's true. That was Star Wars Theory's fucking whole thing. And the funny thing is like, I swear he says those things, and then it's like he's never been challenged. When he was doing those streams with Den of Shills, right, and stuff like that, he would say something like that, and all Josh would say is, "Oh yeah, I agree." He's never been challenged like this. In fact, Mauler and Ryan are way too smart, way too intelligent, and know a lot more about writing, about characters, and especially about Star Wars than Star Wars Theory. He would dream to be as intelligent as those two. And when they're challenged, when he challenges them, when they challenge him on some of the stupid shit that he says, his justifications don't make sense. His reasoning for what he said doesn't make sense. And then he sits there and actually says, I agree. Go and watch it. If you haven't watched the video that I came out with, I'm sorry it's 40 minutes long, but go and watch it. I was going to do another one of those types of videos on their previous Stargriff stream because that's the one where he mentioned, what did he bring up? What did he say? Oh, when they were talking about like Dave Filoni and the shit that he's been coming out with, the Mandalorian stuff that he's done, and a couple of others, the Clone Wars and stuff like this. And then, somebody in the chat sort of asked, well, who would do it? And they're all like, well, they said their piece. It had nothing to do with anyone that's there at Lucasfilm right now. But then he comes out and goes, no, I still have faith that Dave knows what he's doing. But he sat there and just agreed with those other two in regards to the trash that Dave Filoni's been making. So it's trash, but he still backs him up. Who drank my beer? G'day, mate. How you doing? So yeah, that's that one. Thank you, 19 Larry. We then had Nexus Prime for ARS 50. I'm guessing it's $5 again, something like that, based on the color, maybe 7. I don't know exactly. Rhino, thank you for teaching Anna the difference between Sith and Dark Jedi in the Ahsoka show, LMAO. I feel like Anna sort of did kind of already know. She's pretty smart when it comes to this stuff too. I hate her reactions to Grogu. I hate her reactions to Baby Yoda. And every time I'm either with her and it comes up and she does her high-pitched fucking, oh, you baby, that kind of shit, I will every single time tell her to shut the fuck up. She knows I love her. Yes, Theory is out of his depth for sure, having those two on. To me, it's actually that Stargriff stream, it's going to make people notice more and more how stupid he actually is, how dumb he actually is. It really is. So thank you, Nexus Prime. Then we had Blue-Eyed Scorpio for $5 US. Theory has painted himself into a corner with his fence sitting to keep his subscriber count. I completely agree with that. He can't openly admit the negative. Sorry. I am so fucking dyslexic and retarded. My perspective, he says. No, you're 100% right. I've said that for a long time. He's been fence sitting for a long time. And you see that. That's why I played the clip at the end of the video of his reaction to Obi-Wan Kenobi, the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi. When the funny thing is he even said in that video that if it doesn't affect the lore and canon, then it really doesn't, he doesn't really pay attention to it. What he was reacting to and crying at, right, at the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi was Qui-Gon showing up. Qui-Gon actually appearing as a Force ghost is lore breaking and canon breaking, not only to George's lore and canon, but their own lore and canon from the Clone Wars. When Yoda asked Qui-Gon, can you manifest yourself? And he goes, no, I didn't complete the training. But instead of him having a reaction of, hang on a second, you know, I don't mind hearing his voice and him actually having a conversation with Obi-Wan, but to have him actually appear like that to Obi-Wan is law breaking. It breaks canon. Instead of him having that reaction to it, I'm going to be trending again. Oh my God, it must be the green. It's because of the green lightsabers. I just love the guys with the green lightsabers. That's his reaction to a law-breaking moment. So, okay, you can talk about the dog going into the bar in fucking The Bad Batch all you like. All you like. And say that it's a nitpick and blah, 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 blah. Mauler was right by saying that if that didn't happen, then the third act of that episode doesn't happen at all, right? But no, instead of him questioning, how are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Why are they breaking the canon? Instead of asking those questions, oh, that's the best episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi I've ever seen. All right, mate. Okay. You have that ridiculous, stupid reaction. That's why I played the Cartman saying, fucking, this is so lame. What a joke. And then the last super chat that we got was just a super sticker from Alora, OG Star Wars. I did see her in the chat. Is she still here? Alora, are you here? She's another one that is very knowledgeable when it comes to Star Wars. She knows her stuff. She does her research. If she doesn't know her stuff, she'll always find the evidence to back up what she's saying, or she actually won't say it without actually having the evidence already there. You know, somebody says something on Twitter and she's like, hang on a second, I'm sure I've seen something different. She'll find where it was fucking stated or whatever the case may be. Say, no, this is the way it is and this is why, and give the evidence. These other people, they're just like, they don't do anything like that. So yeah, that's all caught up on the super chats from the video. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I wasn't there, but I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you guys want to watch it and you haven't seen it yet, let me just grab the link and I'll chuck that in the chat for you as well. Where am I going here? We're going there. Get rid of that. Fucking YouTube is being very man, that video got limited ads because of the amount of swearing. That's why in my Bad Batch episode 5, I've started putting the Obi-Wan Kenobi, the R2-D2 sounds over the swear words. So to try and censor it, get it through that monetization. It's not really for the monetization because I'm making fuck all money on these videos anyway. It's more so for the reach. It limits the reach that goes out there. So there's the link. Oh, thank you, Blake, for chucking the OG's link in the chat. Yes, go and subscribe to OG Star Wars. She does her CAF chats. They're usually before Casual Rage, a few hours before Casual Rage. And you can also find her on Tim's channel, and you can find her around. She's great. I'll just drop that again. There's the link twice for you. Go and check out the video if you haven't seen it. And again, I do apologize for the length of it. I thought it was only going to be about 10 minutes. It ended up showing about 20 minutes because the conversation just kept going on because Theory kept saying stupid shit that Mauler had to, he had to question it. Like, how do you come to these conclusions? How do you get to this point? You know? All right. Where do we want to go from here? Do you want to talk about some topics or do you want Bad Batch? Do we do the Bad Batch breakdown? It's funny, I say Bad Batch breakdown. I haven't really been breaking them down much because there's really not much to break down. And if you do want to almost see a breakdown, go and watch my review videos because in the sections where you see me reacting as I'm watching it, you kind of get the context of the episodes anyway. And then, of course, at the end, I'm just elaborating on some of those reactions and some of the moments that I saw. So there haven't really been any really major breakdowns on these streams as yet, but we're still going to talk about it anyway. But what do you want? Do you want to go through some quick topics or do you want to do the Bad Batch? I'm thinking we just do the Bad Batch and get it over and done with, but I'll let you guys decide. B or T? Bad Batch or topics? We'll do it that way. That's easy. Then you don't have to type it all out. B or T? See, Riff. I came in too late to give you the letters. He's put in Bad Batch. All right, Bad Batch. Michael wants Bad Batch. Rhino, may you pretty please with the cherry on top make a video about how TCW and Rebels contradicts things in Star Wars canon. I can try again. Trev. I'm trying again. I'm trying to do the best that I can with the channel at the moment. I don't have a lot of time on my hands, and I do a lot of different streams, obviously with the full Aussie as well. And then obviously with the episodes, I will always try and do what I can. I have done a video before on my favorite part of the Clone Wars. And if you guys didn't know, my favorite thing from the Clone Wars are actually the clones. And it's more so the characters, like the individual. I reckon D. Bradley Baker does an excellent job of giving each clone that he voices, because he voices them all, individual personalities. But yeah, so we got a few B's in there. We got a few T's in there, but I think the B's have got it at the moment. Man, it's hot in here. I got the door open, but fuck, it is hot. Should have brought my fan up. Talk about real Star Wars. how close to immortality was Plagueis. In all honesty, we'll probably talk like I'd rather sort of, as much as I love talking about it, Soul Assassin, I'd probably want to save that for when I go on Star Wars Marvel Purist channel to talk about Plagueis like that. The problem was for Plagueis was that he was able, it's kind of like what Palpatine says, he was able to save the other people from dying. You know, Venomous, what he was doing, the experiments and stuff that he was doing with Venomous, and then wasn't able to save himself. Oh, I actually didn't know that. There you go. See, I don't know everything. But knowledge is power. The more that you know, the better, basically. The more you know, the better. Okay. We're going to do the Bad Batch really quickly. We'll just get it over and done with. Episode 5 of the Bad Batch. At this point in time, Mozza was right. Episode 5 is the best episode so far. You could almost say it's a filler episode, but it is an isolated story. It's not an isolated story because it still does connect, but it's sort of isolated in its, like, there's parts of it that are just really, really good. I love the dynamic between, and you probably saw this in my review. I agree with that, though. Bad Batch. Just because I say that there's an episode that is good, it's kind of like from season 2. It's funny that my favorite episode in season 2 was on the same planet with Mayday and, you know, Crosshair actually being taken out and then taken to Tantus. Do I give it an 8 out of 10 like Theory? No. Now, I'm not one to do a ranking thing because I just don't like doing ranking stuff, right? But if I was going to give it, it's this episode is slightly above average. So I'd give it a 6, 5.5 to a 6. I don't like how Omega is still really, really just the bestest ever and good at everything, and she's able to. She does mention that she's older than Crosshair, which I didn't actually know that. I'm not sure if I was supposed to know that. But obviously she didn't have the, what do they call it? Help me out, chat. Where they age them up really quickly. Whereas Crosshair did. So that's why she seems or looks younger, I'm guessing. The best character in the entire series is Crosshair. And it's probably because he doesn't have a lot of dialogue. It's probably because he's just a very quiet, kept to himself kind of person. But the dynamic between him and Hunter, really good, I thought. I really wanted to see more in that. I wanted to see them sort of really go at each other. And they went at each other at one point in the episode, but they got interrupted by a big snow worm. And I thought it was funny when fucking Wrecker was running to the back of the station to charge up the power and everything like that. He's like, why is there always a big monster? My reaction to that was because they put dinosaurs on the whiteboard. They've got to have a big monster in everything. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm gonna say this again too. This is the Omega Funko Pop that Lethal got for me. Look how dusty it is. At 10,000 subscribers, we blow this bad boy up. 10,000 subs. 10,000 sub celebration. Kaboom! I might take it out of the box then and maybe then do it, or I might leave it in the box and just put the thing in the box and then just let it explode. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you. Let me show you. View channel. I got to scroll a long way for this. For my 500 subscribers celebration video, we blew up some Lego, if you don't remember, and I'm going to remind you. I hate Funko Pops too, man. No, that wasn't it. Oh, we're getting there. We also tried to blow up for, I think it was 1,000 subscribers. Once I got monetized, we tried to blow up Phasma. Now, believe it or not, I actually got this as a Kris Kringle present from work because they knew I loved Star Wars, and this was around when Force Awakens was coming out, and my KK bought this. The amount of scarring that we got was a bit of melted plastic on the back. So the armor protected Phasma really, really well. Protected her better than in the movie. Yeah, so hang on. Let me share this really quickly. Let me just plug my headphones in before I go sharing sound. So there's the 10,000 subscriber one. We blew up Phasma. See how it was still in the box? God, just looking at my old videos makes me cringe. See, like all these Mando season 1 review, hang on. Season 1 review, okay. Anyway, there's the one. That's actually a good one too. Disney Star Wars Continuity, Episode 8, Hyperspace. Check that out. All right, here we go. Oh, we're going to pause and we're going to skip all the talking, Ryan. Here we go. Oh, are you kidding? Hey. Boom. Bit of slow-mo. Oh, pieces everywhere. You know what's really funny? The soda bulb that you use, the canister ended up in the roof of my garage after it. It was lucky. I put boards around so that I could set up the cameras and hopefully not have them get blown away. And it worked really, really well. I was surprised. And then I think different angle. Yeah, here we go. See that one, that canister there didn't explode. There was 2 canisters, and that was only 1 canister. I love it. Such a pyromaniac. And then everyone celebrates. Anyway, so we're going to do for 10,000. Once we get there, eventually we'll get there. Omega Funko Pop goes kaboom. Where was I? So, Bad Batch episode 5. Yes, the best episode so far. The dynamic between... Whoa. So, the other thing, too, that I would have actually liked to have seen... Now, they did it, I will say, well enough. But at the end of episode 4, when, you know, they get the reunion, Omega's hugging Hunter and... Fucking, why are you making that sound? Hugging those two, Hunter and Wrecker. And then, you know, there's sort of like a bit of a standoff because she had help from Crosshair and he's there. And, you know, even the look on Wrecker's face. Obviously, it's not just Wrecker that he's got to amend with. I don't know if that's the right word, but, you know, apologize, whatever the case may be. But I would have liked to have seen it sort of take off from that moment. So basically, this episode has not a massive, but has a time jump where they've obviously traveled back to the island and Omega wakes up. I thought that scene was pretty funny. It was pretty much a shot-for-shot scene of when Ahsoka wakes up in the Ahsoka series after she nearly drowns, the light shining on her face and wake up and it's like happy. I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, I will say there was enough in there though, just enough in there for that conflict, you could say, between Hunter and Crosshair. You know, Hunter wants to know what happened for the Empire to go, you know, when he was working for the Empire to go completely against Crosshair. Crosshair doesn't really say much, but he does then bring up the fact that he sent out a signal to Hunter to tell him to avoid this. They're after Omega. And Hunter ignored it. And he puts the blame of what happened to Omega and being imprisoned for as long as she was on Tantus on Hunter. And it kind of is Hunter's fault. Definitely is. But, you know, then there's the bit where he kind of like... Crosshair says to Hunter, you know, it's your fault. It's your fault. And they're sort of pushing each other and shoving each other, and then they get interrupted. And then at the end of the episode, they have like another small conversation where, you know, it's a lot calmer, and Crosshair says, you know, I did things. And Hunter's just like, yeah, we've all got regrets. We've all done things that we didn't like. But it's how we then, you know, move forward and you know, try and do better. Which is good messaging. It did have some decent dialogue. It did. You know, and it's like that episode and even the episode in season 2 on that same planet with Mayday in it that really shows that they actually can put some decent writing in there. I have a feeling that in the next Stargriff stream, Maul is going to say, this was really well put together. It was really well done. And I'm not going to necessarily disagree with that. The problem for me is that it isn't Disney's canon, which is a problem. And the fact that they're basically using this series to justify the sequels is another problem. Mike Hill for 5 says, more proof Wrecker is an idiot. If Omega trusts him, then I can trust him. Oh, then I can trust him too. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty silly. Just because Omega trusts Crosshair doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, after everything that happened, you're just going to, that's enough for Wrecker to trust Crosshair as well. Now, throughout it, you can kind of see that Crosshair has a bit of regret. You know, you can kind of tell that. But yeah, thank you, Mike. I thought that was that was kind of silly. You know, maybe say something more along the lines as Omega trusts him, so I'm going to try and give him the benefit of the doubt and see where it goes, but we definitely still got to keep an eye on him. But Wrecker's the dumb one out of all of them. Just wants to blow shit up. Just gets interrupted by the monster of the week, though. Yeah, that's dinosaurs, man. Gotta have dinosaurs in Star Wars. You live for the grift. Yeah, I live for the grift. I do this for the entire fucking $2 I make. It's amazing. Darth Ghostface for 5 months. Thank you. Appreciate the membership. I apologize for missing the last few Casual Rage streams. Rhino recently, Rhino. Oh, yes. Recently, my sleep schedule has been on the fritz. That has made me oversleep, you and me both, and get up late than I usually do. I'm a night person, by the way. I'm a night person too, man. And you don't need to apologize for that. Look, people always do come back and rewatch the streams when they can't be here live. I will say, I think it might get a little bit better when daylight savings ticks back over, both for the US and for Australia, because it narrows the gap. It narrows it by 2 hours. So when America ticks over, it'll go an hour, and then when Australia ticks back over, it'll be another hour. So I think that works out better for everybody when we go back the other way with daylight savings at both ends. Because for me, it's 12:30 in the afternoon when I start, and I always just keep it at 12:30 in the afternoon. So that 2 hour difference, I think it makes it 2 hours later. Yeah, for people in America. So whatever time I started today, go 2 hours later, and that's when I'll be starting once daylight savings goes. Why don't you just get a nice cold glass of water? Why indeed? What, for the heat? I don't know if that's going to do much, to be honest. I got water. I got bottles of water. Actually, you know what? Give me a sec. Fuck it. I'm just going over there. I'm just going to leave you with my chair for a second. And I'll talk to you from over here. I'll do what you say. Trev, I'll do it. All right, we got water. Been in the fridge. It's nice and cold. Oh, it is nice and cold. Oh, man, that is good. All right, let's drink it, though. All right, Trev, you were right. All right. All right. Let's just take a quick look, a quick peek at how that video is doing. Hey, 807 views. It's got more views. Maybe I should just do fucking reaction videos to like sections of the Stargriff stream. It's got 807 views. You know how many views my last episode 5 review has? 189. 807 and 189. Maybe I should just turn my channel into commentary of Star Wars theory. Maybe it's because it's in the title. It might have something to do with the thumbnail as well. I thought the thumbnail was great. And that's thanks to Ryan Reaper, by the way. He is amazing for the thumbnails. There it is there. What a great thumbnail. As soon as I saw it, I laughed. Stargrift. Stupid. And then we got Mauler up here. You got Ryan there, and it's like, I'm with stupid. Oh, so good. So good. And the way Theory's face looks in that, fucking great. Fucking excellent. Well, there you go. I don't know if I'm because again, the only reason why I'm watching any of the Stargrift stuff is because of Ryan and Mauler, and because of what it makes Theory look like. To be honest, so you never know. There might be more stuff. Like I said, I wanted to do a video on the previous one where Theory actually mentioned, I still have faith and still have trust in Dave Filoni, even after all the shit that they give him. Air conditioning, Rhino. I don't have aircon. I've been in this house for 7 years and I still don't have air conditioning. With something, I had some great news this morning. I'm basically refinancing the house and getting some money out of it, which is going to be awesome. And that's going to help me get to America. Based on the news I got today, it looks like me going to LA Comic-Con. I don't know about actually getting in because I don't know if it's sold out. I don't know what the situation is. I need to speak to Yellow Flash. But based on that, it looks like I'm probably going to be in America in October, which is fucking awesome. I also did a consolidation of some debt so that that frees me up a little bit as well. I'm so happy. I'm so happy this morning. It's going to be awesome. Ryan is a Chad. Yeah, he is. You know, I love listening to Ryan talk about Star Wars. I love talking to Ryan about Star Wars. Because despite how he feels about the Disney stuff and despite how he feels about Dave Filoni, when you talk to him about the stuff like the EU and real Star Wars, it can be a great conversation. Never understood the reason for daylight savings. I think it had something to do with the farmers. You got to remember too, when daylight savings is about to tick over and you lose the hour, the days start getting longer anyway. The sun stays out for basically, it doesn't stay out for longer, but it's, you know what I mean? I think the Earth is closer to the sun when it gets to that point for whoever it is on whichever side of the world you're on. That's true. Rhino coming to America. Yeah. I got to work out my entire trip though, because I definitely want to go to LA Comic-Con because that's where I'm going to sort of meet up with Flash and I want to go drinking with him and have a fucking blast. That's going to be awesome. I got to work out to see who else is going there that I can meet. I really want to meet up with Anna. She's very quickly become one of my best friends. I will say we haven't talked in a long time. I actually miss her. But obviously with all her wedding stuff and honeymoon stuff, it's been a while since we've actually, because we get backstage behind one of the StreamYard things and, you know, we just can talk for hours about all different types of shit. Sometimes like I'll just be on one of her painting streams and we'll just be chilling and chatting while she's painting and stuff like that. So I really want to go and meet her and hopefully meet Peaches as well in the process of all of that. That'd be awesome. I want to go, I don't know exactly. I want to go and meet up with Steph as well, my nerdy home. She's become one of my really close friends. If Blabs hadn't have come to Australia, I'd probably want to go and, meet her and say hello to her, but we've sort of been able to already do that. Look, I don't know exactly what the go is in regards to like Gary and the Friday Night Tights guys and what meetups I know that they're doing the Vegas one. I'm not going to obviously be there for that, but I'd love to be able to sort of meet those guys, at least some of those guys, if not all of them. Just to say hello. How you going? It's great to finally meet you. I watch you, they know I watch them all the time. Ryan Kennel, I'd love to go out for a drink with him. Drunk 3PO, those guys as well. So I've just got to sort of hopefully plan it, work it out, and I'm sure I can. Quinton, how you doing? Nuisance Bird, you're only an hour away from Ryan. Well, that's Zachariah. I see you in the chat too. That's the other thing too, is I'd love to be able to like go somewhere and just tell people like, all right, I'm going to be here, just hanging out, whatever, at this bar or at this place, or, and if people, I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but if people want to come and say hello, I'd love to, put faces to some of the names of some of the people in the chat. Even doing the Mozicon thing, like Blake, I see you in the chat, hanging out with you. It was awesome, man. It was awesome. Mud Crab's another one, hanging out with Mud Crab. It was good. And it's a lot of fun. And also too, being my first time actually going overseas, it'd be cool to hang out, some people show me around, do some sightseeing, go to a few different places, go to a few different bars, meet a whole heap of different people. Awesome. Anyway, fucking going off on a tangent. We've been going for an hour and 13 minutes. I've barely talked about fucking anything, but this is fun. Again, I had some great news this morning. I'm fucking rad, so it's fucking really good. Anyway, there's not really too much more I can say about the Bad Batch. This is the thing, though, is like we're 5 episodes in. They're 25-minute episodes, roughly, is the runtime for these episodes. And there hasn't really been much that's happened. We're through the videos, there's sort of enough in there there's nothing really to break down more than what I've mentioned in those videos. The one part of this episode that I think is the worst part of the episode, got a new chair too. Notice that it's so comfortable. The worst part of this episode was when they were talking about the intel that they've got for where Tantus is. I do find it funny that they don't call it Mount Tantus either. It's just Tantus. So episode 2, when Omega and Crosshair were still locked up in Tantus, Wrecker and Hunter went to the old facility. They met those 3 boys, the clones that they took back to the island with them, by the way. And they infiltrated the old base to get information and get intel out of that, to try and find where Omega is. Then when they're talking about the intel that they've got in this episode, episode 5, it doesn't get brought up at all. So it's like, okay, they got the intel because they were trying to find Omega. And the information that we know that they got in episode 2 was that they at least narrowed it down to the system that they were in. Okay. But now it almost seems like they don't have that information anymore. At least that's what it felt like. It seemed like when they were talking about the intel that they got. So Omega talks about how she's got Nalase's data pad and how, if we can get through the encryption, we can get maybe some information off the data pad, and that might be able to tell them where Tantus is. The only way to get through the encryption, though, is to plug it into an Imperial computer. Best way to do that, Crosshair mentions the planet that he got fucked over on, where he killed the Imperial officer and Mayday got killed. That's Snow Planet, and that's where they end up going, plugging it in. And now they don't get the intel that they probably would have wanted, in the fact that it didn't tell them exactly where it is. It basically was just a lot of medical records and stuff like that. Now, maybe as they sift through that information, they might be able to narrow it down, get more out of it. Who knows? But Echo mentions that they've got the intel off the data pad, they've got the intel from Omega, and they've got the intel off Crosshair. There's no mention of the intel that they got from the old Imperial base from episode 2. Now, whether or not they just know that they've got that intel, whether or not it maybe might come up in the next episode, who knows? But based on what we saw in this episode, it seems that they've retroactively made episode 2 a filler episode, because the intel that they got from that base didn't lead to Hunter finding Omega. Omega got herself out of there and was able to organize the reunion herself. And so it kind of feels like, okay, so you're just going to discard this intel. You're just going to discard this information now because you don't need to go and find Omega anymore. But now the plan is to go back to Tantus and liberate the clones that are actually there. She talks about the vault and how she wasn't allowed in. And what's her name? Menri? Whatever her name is. The other female clone of Django that's in that base wasn't even allowed in there. The one bit where Star Wars Theory says, oh, it connects to the sequels. So yeah, that's probably my biggest problem, is that it seems like they've retroactively made episode 2 a nothing burger episode. Filler that does nothing. Filler that does nothing. But again, I got to say, it is the best episode so far. Despite the fact that they're looking for information to get to Tantus, it's all the other stuff that was actually pretty good. The plan that they came up with to get the worm out of the, on the outside of the perimeter, so they could set the beacons off again to keep it out, so that they could dig their ship out. And then obviously there's another time jump in the episode, because if there wasn't, they dug that fucking ship out really fucking quick. I do find it funny though. Let me show you this. Let me actually bring this up. Go into the episode. Now, this might be a nitpick, but I've always said that just because it's a nitpick doesn't make the criticism any less valid. It doesn't. I don't think we need audio because I'm just going to show you some shots. But we'll turn the audio on anyway, just in case. Oh, this is where they pretty much have their little argument.
Yeah. I killed an Imperial officer.
Oh, that's where he tells him what he did. This is where they sort of started getting...
Move! Not yours.
This bit.
She went through what she did because you failed. You're angry because she escaped with my help, not yours.
I wanted to see them go. If they just got interrupted, and it's fucking annoying that they did. I actually said in my video, in my review, that I would have loved to have seen them go at each other and then they get interrupted. At least have a bit of a, at least have a little bit of a punch on. They're so angry at each other. Let them fight it out. And then at the end, the dialogue that they have, it's at the same time as it being good. It didn't pay off like I wanted to see this argument here pay off. So the worm comes cracking out of the ice. Look at the ship. Now, the ship didn't sink, right? But after the worm came out, that's what ended up happening because it cracked the ice enough to make the ship sink like that. Right? So actually the perfect spot. Okay, so look at that for a second. Now, when we go to the time jump, they basically come up with the plan. They get the worm on the outside of the perimeter. They set off the beacons again so that it stops it from coming in. Good plan, well executed. No one really got hurt. No one really died. Good. No, that's where they... Wrecker's like the child, like the baby boy. He goes running over.
I don't even see any blood this time.
Gives him a hug.
See? They always work it out. And I don't even see any blood this time.
When Echo said that, I'm like, what? Is that it? Is that the extent of them actually working out their differences, working out their problems? It wasn't, which thank God for that. But anyway, we're going to just skip here. Okay, so this is where we get the bit of a time jump. How long do you reckon it would take them to dig the ship out to the point where it looks like this? How long would that take them? And guess what they're digging it out with? Shovels. You got, look, shovel. He's got a shovel. Hunter's got a shovel. Saw how much the ship sank into the ice, right? Days to weeks? I'd say weeks. Look at the way look at the way the ship is now sitting up on the thing. And the funny thing is I would have been fine with it if, let's say, the ship was parked not where it sank. Where did they move the ice to? It looks like maybe they moved the ice to behind it with shovels. But again, like I said, it might be a little nitpick sort of thing. It's not that big a deal, to be honest. But again, it's one of those situations where, okay, again, now how much time has gone by? At least in one of the first episodes, when you see Omega scratching the days that she's been there on the walls, you can see a massive lapse in time. Her hair grows out by the time we go from the 21 days to the 150 days, right, that she's marking on the wall. This you don't know. But I would have been okay with it if, let's say, they dug out the entrance to the ship and they were able to fly it like to maybe a different spot, right? And then land it back on its Because, hang on. So you see, like, it's sitting just on top of the ice, the way that it would just normally land when they first arrive there. That's what I was thinking. Could they just not have flew it out? Maybe. But it seems like they just went straight up and down. If this is the thing too, they've got the intel that they need. If they could fly it out, then they wouldn't have any reason to land it back down again. Right? You would fly out and fly away like they do right at the end. Just fly away. So as soon as they get to a point where they can actually fly the ship, once they've got it out of the ice, there would be no reason for them to touch back down again. It would just be like, let's go. We've got everything that we need from this place. We don't need to stay here any longer. I want to go back. This is the conversation between the final sort of conversation that we have.
I thought I knew what I was getting into with the Empire. I thought I was being
a good
soldier.
I'm just going to pause for a second because I don't want to get the stream blocked.
Nobody really understood what was happening back then. I've done things. I've made mistakes.
So at least he can sort of admit that now. Go back to the ice shot. I will in just a second.
I have regrets too, Crosshair. All we can do is keep trying to be better. And who knows? There just might be hope for us yet.
That's it. So again, nice little piece in there, nice little nugget in there. All right, let's go back to the ship. Sunk in the ice. No, I've gone too far back there. Hold on. So you saw it sort of crumbling down there, but we'll get to the shot. What do you think? With shovels, how long do you reckon it would take for them to get that ship out? And have it sitting on its landing gear the way it was? And again, if you were able to dig it out to a point where you were actually able to take off, why would you touch back down again? Especially in the same spot, but where the ship got, sunk. Hey, Steezo. What do you think, Full Nelson? I don't know. I could be just nitpicking, but to me, it's valid. And again, how long do you think that they were there to dig it out with shovels? See, that's the one thing that I feel like they could get in and fly it. Maybe, but they didn't. And they didn't because the writers basically indicated that they couldn't. I'm with you. I'm with you. Maybe. Anyway. Three days with Wrecker. Why didn't they jump into hyperspace? Why are they such different colors? Well, you mean the skin color? Well, Echo's because he was experimented on. I don't know. I got a bigger problem with the fact that there's two female clones of Jango Fett than most stuff. Anyway, that's pretty much the episode. We've pretty much broken it down. It's fine for a filler episode. It was fine. It's good. Best episode so far, and it's all because of the stuff between Crosshair and Hunter. They fake tanned. Maybe on the island planet they've got like tanning booths. Best episode ever. I know I'm going to get shit from you guys for it, for saying that it's a good episode. It's a decent episode. I've told you what problems I have with it. I've told you the things that I like about it. Isn't that funny, though, how I can sit here and say that when I'm just a hater, grifter? And one of the biggest problems with these shows is they're all connected to Disney Star Wars, which is a joke. Those two are the best characters, and I've still only seen half of season 1. They are. Filler trash, thumbs down. Thank you for watching it so I don't have to. Well, you're welcome. I will say I dread it. I do. I get home from work and I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch Bad Batch. I'm going to review it. Why are you watching it then, Rhino? Oh, that's no. Does this one good episode mean Filoni has saved Star Wars? Certainly not. Which 300th episode is that? 305. Yes. Yeah. I'm retarded. That was so fucking stupid. Have you realized it connects to the sequel trilogy? Man, I realized that a long time ago. It's others out there that fucking seem to realize it and then forget that they realized it. Must just love the sitting on the fence all jolly, squishing his nuts on that fence. Okay. Bad Batch is done. Writers felt we had to go to this planet just for the Mayday callback. So they added a snow worm to fill out the episode, is how I see it. Very good point. Very good point. I agree. No, I do agree. I will say, like, that episode in season 2, sorry, it's my favorite episode from season 2. I didn't mind the callback to Mayday, the helmets on the ground. It seems very, and then him putting them up. You know, that's how they were set up when he went there for the first time. So yeah. Sorry guys, give me a sec. Sorry guys, give me a second. This is just in regards to that good news thing that I had this morning. Sorry. This is very important. Omega should be gone. Where was the worm in the other episode? So the whole thing was that there was a perimeter of beacons that were sending out a signal that stopped. Even the bird wasn't coming into like that perimeter area, and because they needed power to the base, they took the power from the beacons and put it in the base so that they could basically get the information that they needed. And obviously the shutting down of the beacons allowed that worm to come in. The thing that I don't understand from the previous episode in season 2 is when Mayday and Crosshair go outside the perimeter to basically kill all the bandits. Oh, fuck. Sorry. I got to do something. Shit. Hold on. Okay, hang on. Sorry, guys. Again, this is very. I just had to sign a document that's on my email. All right. Sorry. Omega's not just annoying, man. She's a Mary Sue. And they've written her that way. That base in the last season, if you remember what Mayday was saying, they weren't even sending really supplies there. They were barely keeping the clones alive, and there were minimal clones. I would assume that abandoned that base. I can't remember exactly what the purpose of the base was, but they were already pretty much halfway abandoning that base anyway. Yep, made it the key to everything, just like Grogu. That is so true. Grogu is the key. Grogu and Omega are the keys. And it's really funny because with the stuff with Omega and her being the key, that is between, in the movies, episodes 3 and episodes 4, obviously. And then Grogu is after Return of the Jedi. So Project Necromancer was basically being worked on all the way through, and then after the Emperor died, they must have been successful with something to do with Project Necromancer. Yes, fuck Grogu and Omega, I agree. All right. Let's move on. I just saw this. I'm just going to shift gears a little bit here, and I just want to talk a little bit about the MCU. It's quite funny to see what's happened to the MCU in the last 2 phases. Phase 4 and 5. Nothing beats phase 1, as far as I'm concerned. Up to Avengers, the first Avengers. It peaks again at Infinity War, but ever since then it's just been going more and more downhill. And I just saw this, and I just wanted to say, so Chris Evans says Captain America: The Winter Soldier is his favorite Marvel movie. It was his favorite Marvel movie to make. Well, it's my favorite Marvel movie, full stop. I think Captain America: The Winter Soldier is the best movie in the MCU. I'd say followed very closely second. Oh, it's a tough one, actually. Which one would you put above the other? Would you put Avengers before Infinity War, or would you put Infinity War before Avengers? Or Iron Man 1 as well? Yeah, fuck. See, that's the amazing thing. Phase 1 was just incredible. I still think that Winter Soldier is the best. And don't get me wrong, like Iron Man 1, if you think that that's the best, that's totally fine with me. It is fucking great. Solo is shit. Rogue One is okay. It's fine. Infinity War before Avengers, okay? Infinity War is second, so you put Avengers 1 before Infinity War. Civil War is one of my... there's good moments in Civil War. I just don't... I'm not a massive fan of the Civil play fight. Sorry. Infinity War is the best MCU movie. Age of Ultron is greater than Infinity War and Endgame. I wish Endgame was better than what it was. I really wish that they found a different solution than time travel. Like, I understand why Thanos destroyed the Infinity Stones, but it would have been so much better if he didn't and just protected them, or was trying to protect them to stop them from reversing everything. Age of Ultron was a mess. Okay, so definitely Iron Man, closely followed by Winter Soldier. Okay, so my ranking, and I'm not going to rank every single one because there's too many to rank them all in order, but the ones that we've sort of more been talking about, this is how I would put it. Winter Soldier is number one. Winter Soldier, I think, is the best. Fuck, this is so tough. Why is it as tough as it is? Winter Soldier, Avengers 1, Iron Man, Infinity War. This is the thing, even some of the bad ones, like in my eyes, Civil War and Age of Ultron, have some really good moments in them. Like really good moments in them. So it's hard to say that they're like really bad, especially when we've had things like the Marvels. Screw you, Mike. You don't think that at all. Get out of here. They're the LOL. I got it. That's a joke, but fuck. Maybe that's something we can do. Maybe next week. I'll just write them all down. We'll list them in order. And then we'll try and rank the MCU for the only three phases. We're not going any further than, we're not going into Loki. We're not going into fucking any of the newer movies. All right, Ghostface, let's see what you got. We got Infinity War, Avengers 1, Winter Soldier, Iron Man 1. I don't mind that ranking. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Yes. My top 5 MCU movies. Funnily enough, I think that's my top 5 too. I just have them in a different sequence. And it's so hard. Okay, out of those 5 there, right? I would go Winter Soldier. What did I say before? Fuck, this is so tough. Winter Soldier, Avengers 1, Iron Man. Oh, man. I got to put Iron Man 1 before Infinity War. Then Infinity War and then Guardians 1. They're so interchangeable, though. True? Are you saying you didn't want to put She-Hulk on the list? I didn't even watch She-Hulk. We've got to make a tier list. A tier list, though, is different to... We could do a tier list, actually. We could do a tier list and then try and rank them in order. Best to worst. Who Drank My Beer says Winter Soldier is one of my faves. It's for me, that's number one. For me, that's number one. Tara Nazilla says Iron Man 1. And then I'm guessing, number 1 is Iron Man. Number 2 is Age of Ultron. Number 3 is Winter Soldier. Number 4 is Avengers. Number 5 is Thor: The Dark World. Wow. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. I really don't rate Thor: The Dark World. I'm sorry. That's fine. Again, you can the 3 phases. There's good and bad in there, and even in the bad, there's good stuff. So I don't have a problem with that. But Dark World, wow. It's not for long. You're gonna cop it for that, though. You are. You are. Just cop it on the chin, man. Take it on the chin. I always put the Guardians of the Galaxy movies outside other Disney crap movies. Yeah, but it's still in the MCU. It's still a part of the first. It's still like, especially like 1 and 2. They're still a part of those first 3 phases. So we've got to be fair. We've got to be even. It's not like Star Wars series ranking system where the ranking system changes depending on what he's comparing it to. So stupid. That's true. That is true. At least it's not Iron Man 3 or Thor 3. Yeah, those made me sick too. Iron Man 3. Thor 3. Ant-Man was fun. The first Ant-Man anyway was definitely a fun movie. But it's definitely not like top tier. It doesn't belong in top 5, that's for sure. I don't even know if it belongs in top 10. Iron Man 3 sucked. Yeah, it really did. It really did. But anyway, I like the fact that it was his favorite one to make because it's my favorite MCU movie out of all of them. Thor Love and Thunder was worse than Thor 3. Never watched it. Never watched Love and Thunder. The music in Guardians is great. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. All of MCU is bad. That's another hot take. That's not true. It's not true. You're entitled to your opinion, but it's not true. Let me say, you're entitled to be wrong. Should have done Demon in a Bottle. You're going to cop that too. Oh, that's funny. Doctor Strange was sick as fuck. First one. Yes. I didn't mind Doctor Strange one. It's the thing. They completely took these characters and the everything that they did in those first 3 phases, and they've completely changed it. They've completely destroyed it. Completely destroyed it. Anyway, that's something that maybe I'll try and we'll do it. We'll try and do a tier list, and we'll try and do a ranking. It's going to be hard, and not everyone's going to agree. As we've seen in the chat already, not everyone's going to agree. Drax was an embarrassment to the comic book. Dropped out of the MCU after Iron Man. Isn't Iron Man well, technically Iron Man's not the first one. It's a Hulk movie, right? Because there's that end credit scene at the end of Norton's. Is it Norton's Hulk movie with Tony in there? Miss J, I haven't said hello to you. Hi, Miss J. Iron Man 1 was great. Anyway, I just like to see that. Chris was happy to, that was his favorite one to film, and it's my favorite MCU movie. All right, let's go through some Star Wars news. Before we do, let me just check what this is. All right, that's all okay. All right, let me bring this up. Let me bring this up. This is actually kind of funny. Who made this? Phil. Do you remember Boba Fett? I do. That's funny. Very cool. I love the memes. Hail to the Legion. All right. What was I going to do? We're going to just check over here real quick. All right, we're good. All right. Next on the agenda, we've just got a bit of the Star Wars news stuff. So we're just going to go through some of these tabs. All right. Hang on, let me. Man, my computer is buzzing. I got to clean it. I got to clean the inside of. Clean the entire house. Fucking last weekend. And the one thing I didn't do was clean my computer, and it's making this. Can you hear it? Can you fucking hear that? Stop it! It's making me nervous. Is it because my headphones are on top of it? Well, maybe it was my headphones. I'm going to blow it up. Hold on. Guys, you're awesome. If you're just coming in, smash the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. It's free. Hit the notification bell so you can see when I drop videos about Star Wars Theory. Hold on one second. Technically, they don't have the rights to the Hulk. So it can't be the first MCU movie. Okay. Let me just check something. I'm curious then. I may as well put my headphones on for this. Why then did we get this from the 2008, The Incredibles? The Incredibles. The Incredible Hulk, the post-credit scene. This is the post-credit scene.
Reload.
I got to pause, and we'll skip 5 seconds, 10 seconds.
Smell of stale beer and defeat. You know, I hate to say I told you so, General, but that super soldier program was put on ice for a reason.
So I'm curious, if the Incredible Hulk isn't a part of the MCU, why do we get Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark at the end credit scene?
I've always felt that hardware was much more reliable.
Stark,
General.
you always wear such nice suits.
Touche.
So while that statement might be true about them not owning the rights to it, they obviously had some agreement in place. Now, the MCU wasn't like really what the MCU is now, or what we perceive to be the MCU now, back when the Incredible Hulk did come out. And is this the Norton one or I can't remember now. Is this the Norton one or the Eric Banner one?
I hear you have an unusual problem.
You should talk.
You should listen.
Anyway, I'm not going to play the whole thing because I'll get fucked on for it, but it was there. It was there. The end credit scene to the Incredible Hulk. Oh, man. I'm sorry, dude. With the Bad Batch coming out, I should have started that earlier. And I don't want to promise anything because I don't want to give you, I don't want you to hope that maybe what I will try and start doing is maybe on Monday or Tuesday, I'll just watch an episode, do a review. I do have a little bit of time on those days. It's just usually because of how much I've already got on my plate. I usually try and keep the Monday, Tuesday as like just once I finish work, I just get home, chill, relax. But I will. I'll try. I'll attempt to give you something. So that was the Norton one. But yeah, it still obviously connects to the MCU in some way, shape, or form, despite whether or not they owned it or not. That's true. It used to be the worst MCU movie. That's true. That's very true. Hello. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. All right, let's talk about the Star Wars news that I had here. Here we go. I'm going to click through a couple of these. All right, so Star Wars Holocron has put this out. I didn't know anything about this until I saw this. So a picture book version depicting Han and Leia's marriage titled Someone Who Loves You is coming soon. The book, written by Beth Revis and illustrated by Sophie Lee, releases December 3rd. Someone Who Loves You. Didn't they retcon them getting married on Endor? I wonder how this is going to be portrayed, like how they're going to portray Han Solo and Leia in this picture book. Who's buying it? Who's buying it? Get your copies. Pre-order now. Yes, that's very true. Very true. So yeah, I just saw this and I thought, geez, they're really trying. This is the funny thing too, is that they're using, they just keep using the old George's Star Wars. They keep coming out with new books and new this and new that, shows that revolve around that time period. No, me either. Me either. Early days of when Disney took it over, I started buying some of the novels. So let me tell you the Disney Star Wars books that I own. Ashamedly, I will say. Let's see. Oh, that's all the Harry Potter books. Darth Maul. That's all Legends or original EU. No, nothing there. That's good. It's over here. I'm re-listening to Plagueis at the moment. Let's go to the library. Okay. So I have Master and Apprentice, The thing is with that book is the Master and Apprentice book, I believe, was already in development before Disney took it over, and they changed a few things in it to match what they were doing, and then they published it. So there is some good elements in that book because it was already, like I said, under the George Lucas era of Star Wars, I believe, that gives that book a little bit of levity, which isn't too bad, I think. Ahsoka, I bought the new Thrawn trilogy because Timothy Zahn sold out. And God, I hate those books. The last book in that new trilogy overlaps with the Rebels stuff when Thrawn leaves Lothal. Lords of the Sith. I've got that book. Again, I think that was another one that was at least partially in development before George sold it. I don't quote me on that. I know that the Master and Apprentice one, I'm pretty sure definitely was. But Lords of the Sith, it was a very early book that Disney released. And again, in that book, there's some good stuff in there. It's not all good, though. Bloodlines. That one I actually really didn't like. That's Claudia Gray, May the Force be with you. Do you remember that? I got the Aftermath trilogy, which is horrible. Horrible. And that's it. They're the only Disney books I've got. And they're the only Disney books I will ever have. Ever. Brett for 5 says, just so I can spam it in the next star grift, Rhino, FMK theory, RK, so the long man himself. Just so I can spam it in the next star grift, Rhino, call me stupid, but what's FMK? What is that? FMK theory? RK or the long man himself? Brett, don't send another super chat, but can you elaborate on what question you're asking me there? Oh, fuck, marry, kill. I am retarded. Fuck, marry, kill, and you're giving me Theory, Ryan, and Mauler. Oh my God. Are you asking me to give you a fuck, marry, kill to give to them, or you want me to answer fuck, marry, kill, Ryan, Mauler, and Theory? I didn't say Siri. Brett, please answer my question before I answer what I think you're asking me. Let's see. Fuck. All right, I'm going to answer it the way that I think you're asking me. I would. Oh, fuck. Well, the kill one's easy. The kill one's easy. I think you all already know my answer to who I'd kill. Oh, God. All right, so kill Theory. Fuck. He's going to marry Theory. Fuck off, Miss J. No, don't answer him. No, I'm going to fuck Ryan and marry Mauler. There. Fuck Ryan, marry Mauler, kill Theory. I didn't say Siri. Fuck. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. There you go. There you go, Brett. Okay, yeah. So I answered it the way you wanted me to. There. Correct answer, Rhino. Is it? I don't know. I don't like the idea of having gay sex with Ryan, especially when my name's Ryan. Man. I was about to anyway, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking doing it. Oh man, the thought process that just went through my head. Whew. All right. We've got also RIP Star Wars for $5. Says, would you have liked to see an adaptation of the Thrawn trilogy made by Lucasfilm pre-Disney? Of course, man. Who wouldn't? Like, honestly, if you've ever read those books, who wouldn't want to see that? Now, this is the thing, though, too, is that to do it as live action with, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford, I don't think you could have because they were too old, right? Way too old. But animated movies, I think you could have done those 3 books as animated movies, a trilogy of animated movies. Don't do your episodes of those. So don't make first, second, and third adaptation of those books your episodes 7, 8, and 9. You just have those as an in-between animated movies, in between Return of the Jedi, and then whatever you do as maybe the New Jedi Order or something like that. But then you do your New Jedi Order. Now, obviously, there's a lot more books of those as a series. But man, you could just keep doing episodes. You could do it as a trilogy and then just continue that as another trilogy. Do 6 movies to tell those stories or something along those lines. But yes, I would have liked to have seen the original Thrawn trilogy. 100%. I don't know who would answer that as no, they wouldn't. Thank you, RIP Star Wars, for the super chat. Make it animated like TCW style. Ronnie's going to start using pronouns now? Fuck, I hate it. Man, I was at work. I got an email from a lease company. I'm not going to say anything other than that. But I got an email from a lease company about a car that I sold that was getting, I had to send them paperwork and stuff, and they were asking me for certain documents and all of that. And it's got signed off with the person's name and then in brackets, they, them, pronouns. You know what I felt like replying? Dear Sir / Madam. That's what I felt like writing back to this email. But I didn't. My job is too important to risk on something as stupid as fucking that. Animated but not TCW style. Melissa, what's wrong with the TCW style animation? I don't mind the TCW style animation. Really? I mean, TCW style animation's way better than the 2003 Clone Wars animation. Each to their own, but I like the TCW style of animation. I reckon 2D style is better than 3D? I don't know. Maybe if they cleaned up the 2D a little bit more, maybe. Yikes, I'll take Rhino. Oh, Final Fantasy movie like that. Do it. What, right back, sir or ma'am, madam? I couldn't imagine the email I got back or the complaint that would come through that would then go through to my manager that would then come to me. I don't know. It could even be a fucking fireable offense, which would be ridiculous. TCW style is okay, but I prefer something hand drawn, sorry. Hands down. TCW style, I don't think it's that bad. Anyway, so I'm guessing no one's buying this book. Good on you, Lucasfilm. It's going to be another disastrous fucking product for you. All right, straight off the bat, we'll go straight into the next tab. And I haven't, obviously... Oh, this was very interesting. The Force Awakens editor, Mary Jo Markey, was frustrated with Rian Johnson's discussions in decisions in The Force Awakens. It's very strange to have the second film so consciously, I'm a little bit retarded, I'm a little bit slow, so just bear with me, consciously undo the storytelling of the first one. Gee. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if this Mary Jo Markey, or however you say the name, was one of those people at Lucasfilm that was probably attacking the fans back in the day. It wouldn't surprise me. You know, time goes by. It's so funny. You got a lot of the fans out there, a lot of the sequel fans out there that say, oh, time, just let some time go by and it'll make the sequels better. Just makes it, time will help these things, just like it did the prequels. You know, it's funny. As time goes by, the more and more people are actually coming out and talking against it. We've had Daisy Ridley talk against it. We've had John Boyega talk against it. Now we're getting editors that have worked on it talk against it. Mark Hamill, we saw how frustrated Mark Hamill was until he decided to cuck himself. Yeah, Brett's got it. We know. Like time makes milk better, yeah. The titty milk. Nothing. No amount of time is going to make the sequels ever any better. LOL, they always say that. Kevin Feige is the reason the MCU is going downhill more and more and more and more. Oh, yeah. And Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are the reason why Star Wars continues going downhill more and more and more and more and more. All right. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting that, you know, people do say that time's going to help these movies, and time seems to be working against these movies. The more time goes by, the more people are actually, you know, more emboldened or willing to come out and actually talk against Rian Johnson and talk against these movies. Mudcrab says, Mary J. Markey seems to have a long history with working with J.J. Abrams. Well, that doesn't surprise me then that she's gotten frustration with Rian Johnson. This might just be her taking sides on the Rian Johnson, J.J. versus Rian pissing fight. When you spell Ryan and you're talking about Rian Johnson, please don't spell it the same way I spell my name. Spell it the stupid way that he spells his name with the I. Thank you. But no, I agree, Mudcrab. That could very well be the case. I didn't know that she obviously worked closely with Rian Johnson, but yeah. RIP Star Wars for 2-month member chat. Thank you very much for the membership. I really appreciate all my members. You guys are great. Have you seen Alex Jones explain the prequels? No, I haven't. Maybe that's something that we can... How long is it? DM it to me now, if you can, on Twitter. Maybe we'll watch it when we do Seal of the Week before we go tonight. Thank you for the member chat. What is this? All right, we'll do that after the stream. Fuck. Getting all these notifications and shit now about this refinancing that I'm doing. And I need to do something. But it takes about 5-10 minutes, so I can't do it now. We'll do it after the stream. All right. It's like 1.5 minutes. Send it to me. Send it to me. Send it to me. Send it to me. Let me close this down for a second. See. Are you on Twitter? RIP Star Wars? Unfortunately, I'm not on Twitter. Are you on... Do you have Instagram? Put in the chat. Put the link in the chat. I know you're not a mod, but hopefully it'll still at least show up for me for like approval or something. You have no social media. Well, I envy you. I spell Ruin Johnstein. Put in the chat. Put the link in the chat. Let's watch it. We'll watch it when we do. Or yeah, put the title of the video. Why is that not working now? Why can't I show comments? There we go. All right, hold on. Let me search it on YouTube then. I'll try what Mike said. Okay, let's try that. Explains. All right. Okay, I got it. Okay. All right, we're gonna pause that. All right, we'll watch that when we do Seal of the Week. Thank you. RIP Star Wars. All right, so we did that Someone Who Loves You book that no one's buying. Time hasn't helped the sequels. All right, I just saw this. Let's quickly bring this up. Unfortunately, now with that text message I've got to wrap this fucking stream up pretty quick now. Because I got to get this fucking done. Okay. So from Chopper, another Disney shill on Twitter. Wouldn't surprise me if it was a Lucasfilm employee. The Star Wars Rebels series finale aired on this day 6 years ago. Is it today? No, it was 2 days ago. On this day 6 years ago. Can't believe we had to sit with this ending for 5 years until the Ahsoka series. This could almost be a nominee for Seal of the Week. Unfortunately, it's not, because we've got other Seals of the Week this week. But I just thought, Ahsoka. God, I hate it. I just hate it. I just dropped the link. Do you see it? No, I don't. It's probably because you're not modded, Dr. Coffin Nails. It's okay. I've got it. I've got it anyway. Thank you. We had to sit here for 5 years to get the Ahsoka fucking piece of garbage as the continuation of the story, which ends up being a fucking ridiculous thing anyway. It's all right. I've got it, but Dr. Coffin Nails, you've been around a long time, and I've seen you on other people's things. I've seen you modding on other people's, so there you go. God, they made modding people so much easier now. Have you got your wrench, Dr. Coffin Nails? Please just confirm for me. Write something in the chat. Yeah, there it is. Woo! All right, yes, I agree with that. Fucking Ghostface. I love it. Everything fucking so far today, Ghostface has been like, fuck that. All right. So yeah, whoop-de fucking do. 6 years ago, we got the fucking ending of Rebels, which was garbage in itself. And, well, we had to wait 5 years to see the garbage continuation of that story. Awesome. Dave Filoni's absolute fucking, anyway, bullshit. Speaking of Ahsoka Season 2 is reportedly being filmed later this year. Great. Woohoo! And Jace, I see you. How you doing, mate? Good to see you too, brother. Ahsoka Season 2. I am curious on what they would do with Balin. Being that Ray Stevenson is now dead in real life. Very interested to see what they do. More backflips in space. I can't wait to see its failure. Yeah. How the fuck is Ahsoka getting a season 2? It's a great question. But see, this is the other thing too, is that a lot of the people at Lucasfilm don't think that they're doing anything wrong. We've talked about this a few times. You know, they really don't think that they're doing anything wrong. Another wrench for my collection. Thanks, Rhino. You're welcome. You're always here. I've seen you modding in other people's channels. I don't just want to mod anyone and everyone because, you know, there are people. Something happened with, you guys know John Talks? When we were streaming with him, he was just modding heaps of people and then it created a situation for him. I don't want to do that. And it's not against anybody in particular in the chat. But if I see somebody that's actually doing actual modding on another person's channel, like I've seen Dr. Coffinails do, I'm more than happy to do that. Will we see Lizzo? That's all I care about. You remember that? Yeah, John, man. Oh, you remember John Talks. Do you remember what happened with that whole wrenching thing? That was a disaster for him. Back when we were doing those Fantastic Four streams with John, Nina, and Fatal J. They were good. We should have like a little reunion, just a one-off. That'd be good too. But John went completely political. Like all his, and he does like, it's almost short-sized videos, but he does them as just normal videos. He does really well. No, what happened? Oh, it's just he modded a heap of people, and then there was a rift between two of the mods or something, and then he unmodded someone because, you know, they were banning people and stuff like this, and then the person said that it wasn't them and it was this person and that person, and it was just a mess. It was a mess, and I don't want to go through that. So I will only mod people that I know that are going to do at least a bit of the modding job and stuff like that. And obviously the mods can help approve chats that get hidden. Oh, he does. He makes great videos. But I even liked John Talks before he was doing the political stuff, obviously. No, and I kind of miss him. I used to love watching him because he's a good streamer. I don't think it was the modding thing that happened that stopped him streaming. It was his changing content that stopped him streaming. Because his content went to the political side, and I don't think he wants to sit there and stream about politics necessarily so much. You know, he used to stream about the pop culture stuff, but he sort of, you know. Yeah, I remember when it was John Talks Star Wars. Then he rebranded to just John Talks. And now he doesn't talk. Now, that's so funny, though. Now he doesn't talk at all. He's fucking... he makes political videos which he doesn't talk over. And he doesn't do streams. It should just be John's quiet. A hell of a nice guy. And the fact that, like, you know, somebody like him and even Anna, that Star Wars girl, gave me the opportunities that they gave me to come onto their streams, get to know them and all of that. Even Flash, for that matter. You know, Flash is 500,000 subscribers. What am I doing on Flashcast? I got under 6,000 subscribers. You know why? That's thanks to Anna, for me, that I've got a seat on Flashcast. And I love those streams, and I'm glad that I've built this friendship and relationship that I've got with Flash. It's, you know, I owe him a lot. I owe her a lot. I owe John a lot. They were good, Jace. They were really good. Anyway, again, going off on these tangents. Oh, man, I'm having fun. Are you guys having fun? I'm having fucking fun. Anyway. Your channel is going to get big, Rhino. Look, if it happens, it happens. I don't want to put too much attention on it because for a little while there, just a while back, it was kind of like I got disheartened by spending so much time editing videos. You know, some of my scripted videos I spent weeks on and then hours upon hours, like days worth of hours doing editing and stuff like that. And to get like 500 views or something, it kind of disheartened me. I'm not even paying any attention to that anymore. I'm just going to make the content. If it takes me a while, it takes me a while. If it doesn't take me a while and I can just pump something out, fucking great. And if it gets views, it gets views. If it doesn't, then that's fine too. If it helps me get subscribers, it's like I could sit here and I could be jealous of, let's say, Grizzy, for example, who's nearly at 20,000 subs. Started his channel, what? Well after I started my channel. I started 4 or 5 years ago now. And he's, what, been around for, I think, if Grizzy's in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been around for, what, 2 years? Something like that? I'd have to go back and check out when his first video dropped. But, you know, I could sit here and be like, and be a bit sour and a bit like, no, like his content is fucking great. Fucking great. Melvin's another one. I'm not going to sit here and be jealous of Melvin because he's got a higher sub count than me and he probably gets better views. He's more consistent than me putting content out. Yes, the silver lining is it would be nice. It would be absolutely beautiful if I was able to go into my work and go, I don't need this anymore. And be able to wake up in the morning, maybe make a couple of videos and do a live stream every day and make a living doing this. It would be cool. I'm not going to deny it. It would be awesome. But with my job, I don't mind my job. I like my job. I like selling. I like talking to people. Some people. I had this customer the other day. She walked in the door and we're doing where we were, the dealership that we were in, the building that we were in, they're about to do a massive renovation on it. So they're actually destroying the entire building and basically making a new modern showroom, which is going to look sick. I've seen the photos and everything of what they're going to do. And I had this customer come in. This old lady. She would have been somewhere in her 60s or 70s, right? And she comes in, and we've got our service department, and then off to the side of our service department, they've made a makeshift showroom. It still looks really good, but it's quite small and narrow, and you know, can't wait to be in the new building. Anyway, she walks in the door and she stands in the doorway and she looks at the service advisors. And then I'm the first salesman that gets seen because I'm the best salesman that they've got. So they put me right pretty much in the doorway. And that's not a brag. It's the truth. And then she looks at me and then she looks at the service advisors and then she looks at me again. And nobody sort of said anything to her. She could have just taken a couple of steps forward and spoken straight to reception and asked, like, you know, what's happening? I want to speak to somebody about a new car or whatever. And I said, are you after service? She's like, no. And I'm like, oh, you looking to buy a car? And she's like, yeah. So I got up, walked over to her. She's like, didn't seem like you wanted to get out of your chair and talk to me. That was the first thing that she said to me. I'm like, oh, man. I ended up giving her the used car department. Man, I was like done with her from the moment she fucking opened her mouth. She's old, grumpy old lady that's obviously sour against men. Dr. Coffin Nails with his new wrench for $5 says, love your channel. I appreciate that. The Full Aussie, Lethal, and the others you've turned me onto. Like, I'm guessing that's Grizzy and Melvin. Yeah. I appreciate that. I really do. And, you know, I see all you guys in the chat. You're always here. Always hanging out, always commenting, always watching my videos. You guys are great, and I appreciate all the support. So, Dr. Coppernales, thanks for the $5. Everybody in the chat that's always here, thank you. To anyone that's new here, I appreciate you guys just as much. You guys are awesome too. Everyone. Take up croc hunting, Rhino. Oh, man. I've got no Crocs around where I am. Yeah, no, I know who you meant. I got no Crocs around here. All right, let's move on. So, Ahsoka Season 2 is apparently going to be filming later in the year, despite the fact that the ratings for the show was shit and a lot of the criticism for the show was shit too. Like even the people that sit there and say, "Oh, this new Star Wars, best Star Wars ever," you're always going to have your Jacobs out there that are always going to say that. But there's such a very small minority of people. Kangaroo hunting, then, yeah. I could do that. There's kangaroos. Like, man, I was driving to work the other day, and there's this little patch of like just land, between like these two estates, sort of, two parts of the suburbs. You got where I am, and then you got the sort of the northern part of where I am. Don't want to give my suburb away specifically. And there's sort of like, and there was, as I'm driving to work, there was a kangaroo crossing the road. You got to be careful of those fucking roos, man. You hit one of those, you fucking destroy your car. All right. So no one cares about Ahsoka. Then we've got this, which I saw, which I'm like, whoa. The Acolyte Season 2 is reportedly already in the works at Lucasfilm. The writer's room is set. Wow. This is another Rian Johnson moment. Give Rian Johnson a trilogy before we even get to see his movie. Give The Acolyte a second season before we even see it. This show is going to be a disaster. And you know what, the one thing that I hate the most about it is Carrie Ann Moss. The fact that she's a part of it. I like her. I like her mainly because of The Matrix. Looks sexy in that fucking outfit and everything that she was wearing. I don't know how she steers politically. I've never really paid any attention to her on social media, if she's even got social media or anything like that. But that pisses me off. But despite that, they're great. Now, I don't know, Cosmic Marvel. I don't know. Could be making something up. I don't know. But if there's any truth to this, the Acolyte Season 2 is reportedly already in the works at Lucasfilm. They're setting themselves up for major disasters. Major disasters. What? I agree. We haven't even seen the first Acolyte season yet. I wonder how Sparrow's going to spin this one. Also wonder how Sparrow's going to spin it once we actually get the first season of Acolyte. I think he's already started spinning it, hasn't he? Oh, they had no choice now. Whatever. All right, moving right along. Exclusive. So this is from the direct. Star Wars actor Dan DeLegro. I don't know though. Says his surmising. Did I say that right, chat? He's surmising that Disney Plus's Skeleton Crew could premiere in the fall. Now, when's the fall? Your summer's mid-year, like June, July, right? So it's a bit after that. We always knew that we were going to get Skeleton Crew this year. The two big announcements were the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew. And then, obviously, Bad Batch. And I think Tales of the Jedi Season 2. Fucking Star Wars Theory is going to blow so many loads. Going to be all over his face when that comes out. I just hope that they use Tales of the Jedi to help connect to the sequels again. That'd be so good. That'd be so good. Wouldn't it be funny if they used the Acolyte to connect to the sequels? Like 100 years before The Phantom Menace? Oh, man. I wonder what kind of mental gymnastics Cameron Pasha and his cult followers we'll do once the Acolyte comes out. Yeah, no, that's exactly the point that I was basically making. I know that you're just reiterating that, but yeah, and turns out to be a real show and not just a sizzle reel. Yeah. It's gonna be fucking. I think they've already started. Like I said, I think I think based on the Sparrow Files that we saw, if you haven't watched the Sparrow Files, so mods, if you can, Dr. Coffinels, here's your chance. Mods, if you can, please drop Melvin's link in the chat. I also want to ask you to drop, if you can, please, mods. I want Melvin's link in the chat. I want Star Wars Marvel Purist link in the chat, and I also want Grizzy's link in the chat. I'm going to be doing some stuff with Grizzy. I'm going to be doing some stuff with Star Wars Marvel Purist soon, so you can catch me over on those channels. But also, too, Melvin he's just the best. It's just awesome. Awesome. All right, so Skeleton Crew, we're going to see that late in the year. Okay, cool. Does anybody even know what the Skeleton Crew is even supposed to be? Does anybody even know where Skeleton Crew is even supposed to take place in the timeline? Is also my question. They're going to tie it to the sequels using Plagueis, yeah. Well, man, they're going to do damage to Plagueis. I can already foresee it. They're going to do damage to the prequels in regards to even like Yoda saying that the Sith have been extinct and all of that jazz. They're going to do so much damage. I hope they make Tales of the Jedi as bad as Star Wars Visions 2 was. I never even watched Star Wars Visions, the first one, let alone the second one. That destroyed Theory. Yeah, he still sucks the dick. Oh, the spacing, yes. Still says open airlock policy. He rebranded, didn't he? Here's another good one too. Tim. Go and subscribe to his channel. The link is there. All right, Skeleton Crew, let's move on. The next one is Star Tours at Disney Park will include locations and characters from Andor, Ahsoka, and The Mandalorian. Let's give this little fucking 19-second video a watch. Yes, he rebranded. There he is. United Spaces Alliance. How you doing, Tim? Good to see you. All right, go and subscribe to Tim. Open airlock policy. I mean, United Spaces Alliance. Oh, man. Fucking that just rolled off the tongue. Here we go. It's the Space Whales. Oh, John Williams music. That's it. That's all you get. Star Tours. Of course, they're going to include characters from Andor, Ahsoka, and The Mandalorian. What else are they going to include? George Lucas's Star Wars? Oh, you got to be kidding. They wouldn't do that. What a load of garbage those ones are. USA. USA. Yes. United Spaces Alliance. They already ruined it. LOL. Space Whales. Yep. Yep. Locations from all three. So Tatooine again. Yeah. Basically. I'd like to see lots of love in the chat for Tim. He's a good dude. Yes, we get the fucking flip the bird to Andor, Ahsoka, and The Mandalorian. I'd rather have a Starship Troopers ride. Yeah, how good would that be? I love Starship Troopers. And I love Helldivers. Fuck, that game is great. Okay, and the last one that we've got to go over is from Cosmic Marvel again, saying the upcoming Star Wars film starring Daisy Ridley will reportedly be a standalone. Bit late to the party, aren't you? A sequel could potentially happen. Yeah, if it's received well. Tell you what, I'm just hoping I can get a free ticket from Flash. Oh, there's no way I'm going to the theater to watch it. There's no way I'm actually giving them money for this garbage. And everybody else should be in the exact same boat. It should be the exact same thing that happened with Solo. Just a massive retcon, a massive boycott. That's it. That's all the Star Wars news that we've got to go over. You know what they should do? Honestly, after what we just heard about the Acolyte and how apparently they've already greenlit and it's already in the works to make a season 2 of the Acolyte, they should just greenlight a sequel to the Rey movie and announce it and say it's already in the works. We're making a script for it. They're going to make it happen. Again, they don't think that they're doing anything wrong over there at Lucasfilm. Retards. All right, let's do Seal of the Week and we'll watch this video of Alex Jones explaining the Star Wars prequels. Let me get rid of some of these tabs here. Get rid of that one and those two. All right, awesome. Let me just check my Streamlabs real quick. Okay. Nope, we're good over there. Alrighty. Here we go.
I'm all the Jedi.
All right, nominee number 1 comes from Jenna again. QG Jenna says, I love this scene so much. The one that makes Obi-Wan look like a pedophile.
Princess Leia Organa, you are wise, discerning, kind-hearted. These are qualities that came from your mother.
Gotta pause. It's fucking minute and a half long. Man, I hope this fucking stream doesn't get blocked. There's been a lot of shit that I've played that could very well make that happen.
But you're also passionate and fearless, forthright. And these are gifts from your father.
Give the little girl, you know, all the praise.
Both were exceptional people who bore an exceptional daughter.
Oh.
I wish I could tell you more.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. You fought with my father in the Clone Wars.
It's okay. You don't have to.
Okay.
Thank you. Will I ever see you again?
Maybe.
Yeah, but when you do see him again, Leia, when he dies, you're not going to have any emotion whatsoever. Just so that you know.
Someday, if you ever need help from a tired old man. But we must be careful. No one must know, or it could endanger us both.
I can't watch any more of this. I'm sorry. I know that there's, 20 seconds left. The horror.
Obi-Wan.
Goodbye, Princess. May the Force be with you.
All right, that's nominee number 1. Just loves the scene so much. Nominee number 2 comes from Jaden. Says, I'm sorry, but Star Wars music peaked here. It peaked here with the Bad Batch music. Like, I don't think any other Star Wars track will ever convey pure abstract grief like the sacrifice does. It resonates. Man, this sounds so monotone. I'm not getting any goosebumps or anything. As soon as you hear like Duel of the Fates music or Revenge of the Sith music, the heroes, what's it called? The fight between Obi-Wan and Vader. Man, yeah, snore fest. So that's nominee number 2. Nominee number 3 comes from Jacob. So he decided to retweet one of his old tweets from 2019. And he says, thinking about when I dressed up as a toxic Star Wars fan for Halloween in 2019, and some people thought I was actually dressed up as them specifically. I never heard Jacob talk until watching this video. And all I have to say is, I'm not surprised.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go burn some action figures just to let Disney know how much I hate it. And I will be seeing The Rise of Skywalker because I want to see how bad it is. All right, I'll talk to you guys. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Mate, pull that fucking butt plug out of your ass and maybe you'll talk like a man. Anyway, that's nominee number 3. And nominee number 4 comes to us from Lena, the Bad Batch. Dad's here! There you go, guys. There's your 4 nominees. Let me put the poll in the chat. Start poll. There you go, guys. All right. Now, while we're doing that, we're going to watch this 1.5 minute long video from Alex Jones. Here we go. So, Alex Jones explains the Star Wars prequels.
Emperor Palpatine was a little-known senator from Naboo, small planet. He finances terrorists to attack the planet. And then he plays victim and says that the pacifist republic isn't doing enough to help him with the terrorist invasion, the Trade Federation invasion, who even speak in Chinese accents. It's all geopolitical. He then goes and catapults himself into the role of Chancellor. Episode 2. Launches terror attacks all over the galaxy with groups he's secretly financing through his backers in the Trade Federation. He turns around double crosses in the end, which always happens. Nazi Germany, Soviet Russia, Maoist China, learn from history. And now he's got this big imperial army to counter this outside threat run by Count Dooku, the Osama bin Laden guy that actually works for him, and they meet in secret. In episode 3, he launches an attack on the imperial capital himself. He launches an attack on New York. And in the end, he then sets up the Jedi and says they're terrorists and has the anti-terror forces go in and wipe them out to bring peace. Now, the media could not understand. Adults cannot understand children-level ideas, okay? Child-level ideas. Child level. How can you not understand it?
There you go, guys. That's good. That's really good. Oh, Alex Jones. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, that should have given you guys enough time to vote in the poll, shouldn't it? We got 15 votes. How many people we got watching? We got 32 people watching, so we're halfway. Come on, a couple more. 16. Let's go through them again real quick. Let's go through them again. So number one was Jenna with I love this scene so much. We've got the music from fucking The Bad Batch being like peak fucking Star Wars fucking music. Fucking what? Pronouns? Yes, of course, pronouns. Of course, pronouns. Jacob with his soy voice. And Lena with Daddy Thea. All right, which one, guys? Get your votes in. Oh, it's fucking close. It's fucking close. We got 18. Come on, 2 more people. Let's at least get 20. Let's at least get 20. Come on, there's 2 people just lurking in the chat. You've been paying attention. Yep, 19. Come on. Come on. You put your fucking phone down and vote in the poll. All right, we got 21 votes. Oh, come on. Now we got a tie. I'll take it, actually. I'll take it. We're ending the poll. There it is. All right. So, in last place with 9% of the vote was number 4. Dad's here. Cool. From The Mandalorian. That was Lena. Don't know if I'm saying her name correctly. Don't really care. Pronouns? No pronouns. Okay. In second last place, or third place, is number 2 with 23% of the vote. So the music from The Bad Batch being peak Star Wars music gets second or third place, sorry. And, or you could say second place, because the dual winners of this week's Seal of the Week with 33% of the vote each is both Jacob with his soy voice.
I'm going to go burn some action figures just to let Disney know how much I hate it, and I will be seeing The Rise of Skywalker because I want to see how bad it is. All right, I'll talk to you guys. Now, if you
and Jenna with, I love this scene so much, I'm not playing it again. I am not playing it again. But congratulations to both of those two. This week, you are the dual winners of Seal of the Week. Steel clap emojis in the chat, guys. Remember, steel emojis in there.
I'm all the Jedi.
All right. Yes, Riff. Yes, RIP Star Wars. Seal clap emojis. Get them out there. All right, guys. You guys are the best. The best chat on the internet. Love that. I'm all the Jedi. Gets the least applause. It's true. It's true. All right. That's another week of Casual Rage. If you are watching this on the replay, I just want to say thank you. Please smash the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. All of that good shit. And I will be attempting to try and give you as much as I possibly can when it comes to content. I will try, Mr. Bantham. I promise you, I will try and do my very best to try and start at least on the Stargate stuff. And we can sort of start getting into that and maybe transition out of the Bad Batch into doing that. That's going to go for a long time. So there's 10 seasons to get through. So that should, we'll get something started. I will get something started. And yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Appreciate you. We had a little bit of a smaller crowd today. Normally we're sort of hovering around that 40, 50 mark. We've been sort of hovering around that 30, which is still good. Still very, very good. And I appreciate all you guys for constantly coming back and the support. To everybody that sent super chats or member chats today, appreciate you guys a lot. Let me just check my Streamlabs, I should say. Make sure I'm not missing anything there. The last one that I got was from Arbaru for $40. That was a couple of weeks ago, saying "Oi cunts." That was for one of the full Aussie streams. I haven't seen Arbaru for a while. Arbaru, where are you? Anyway, thank you guys. You guys are the best. We will see you. Well, I guess when I'm looking at you or when you're looking at me. And yeah, is there anything specific that I want to plug before I go? I'm trying to sort out playing some Helldivers with Flash. It's a little bit hard with the time zone thing and obviously his real life stuff that he does and obviously all the YouTube stuff that he does. So I'm trying to sort that out with him, but hopefully we can get some gaming streams going soon. I love that game. Helldivers is fucking amazing. We got the Full Aussie this weekend. So if you're not subscribed to the Full Aussie channel, if any mods can just chuck the link to the actual Full Aussie channel in the chat, that would be greatly appreciated. And you can catch me over on Flashcast this weekend. I wasn't there last weekend, but I will definitely be there this weekend. And then that's about it, really. So thanks, guys. We'll see you next week for another Casual Rage and another, well, it's going to be an episode 6 and 7 breakdown. So we'll see what they give us in those 2 episodes. All right, guys, take care. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Put a ticket in and make your name gay!
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt!
That's a few minutes. Are you kidding? At the rate they're gaining?
No, what is it? You have to shoot this. Traveling through hyperspace is like dusting crops, kid. Without precise calculations, we fly too close to a store. They're bounce into a supermarket and then...
Yeah.
Be a hell of a mess.
What's that?
Watch. We're losing the deflector shields. Go strap yourselves in. Be careful on the way out.
Yeah, sure. I'm taking very caution.
You go away.
Bounce too near a supermarket?
Rage on, rhino in the stars tonight. Unleash the force, better rise at night. Damon! Matt Damon! Matt Damon! Matt Damon! Matt Damon! Matt Damon! Matt Damon!